Chelsea have just posted a €407 million loss. While we're arguing about the manager, I found the real problem. We aren't a football club anymore. We're a high-risk private equity experiment. The squeeze has started. Tonight, I'm showing you how they're cannibalising Chelsea to pay back American investors. So, who are Clearlake Capital and what do they do? Well, Clearlake Capital is a private equity firm. And what do private equity firms do, you may ask? Well, their money is not their own. Limited partners, businesses, funds, banks, they all put money into private equity. And what do they put money into private equity for? To get a return on what they've put in to the company. So, for example, if I retired, I was a pensioner, I would put, say, 100 million into the bank, right? Or into this private equity. They would use my money for investment and bring me back a return on my money that I put into the holding firm in the first place. Their money is not their own. Their money is not their own. They get money from different places, put it into a pot, and they use that to run an investment. Now, eventually that pot will run out. So, what happens then when the pot runs out? They're going to go back to these people who've put the money into the holding company looking for more money. Those investors won't be willing to put more in, or they might not be, depending on how the investment is going in the first place and what their promised return was. They're going to be looking for their 10% return back, or however much they've put in. And when those limited partners, pensioners, firemen, whatever, don't get their return on their investment, they start putting on a squeeze. They don't care about the trophies, they care about dividends. Let's talk about the €407 million hole. The data-led gamble. They thought they could disrupt football like Uber disrupted taxis. It failed. And now they're in a massive financial hole. And they're going to go back to these investors who put money into the private equity firm and say, we need more money. We need more money in the pot. There is no more money. Surely there isn't no more money. Wait and see. Let's talk about the asset strip as well. To line their pockets and dodge PSR rules. Basically, left pocket to right pocket. They sold the hotels at Stamford Bridge, the car park at Stamford Bridge, and CFC women to themselves to dodge PSR. Basically taking it out of the left pocket and the right pocket. It's a bit dodgy, and it's to keep limited partners quiet as well, because they're going to be whistling for their investment back. So there's another problem for you. So let's talk about the next thing, the puppet show. What is the puppet show? Have you wondered why we sacked Tuchel, brought in Potter, brought in Lampard, brought in Pochettino, brought in Maresca, and brought in Rossigna? And you wonder, back in the summer when we were looking for a manager, when we first hired Pochettino, we were looking at the likes of Nagelsmann, Luis Enrique, but we didn't get them. Well, I'm going to tell you now exactly what this is about. So, the head coach trap. Potter, Poch, Maresca, Rossigna, Lampard. What do they all have in common? Not big names. Not massive coaches, world renowned. Never really managed a Champions League side with big egos and trying to get big results and winning trophies. No. These guys, Potter, yes man. Pochettino, yes man. Lampard was only there to appease the fans. Maresca, yes man. Rosenior, yes man. But what happened the minute Pochettino and Maresca did no longer become yes men and started doing things themselves and complaining in front of the media? They got shown the door. And why? And why, may I ask you? Because the reason we got rid of Tuchel, the reason we didn't get Enrique, the reason we didn't get Nagelsmann is because they were not collaborative. And what do I mean by collaborative? They're the type of people who will do what the spreadsheet says. So you like some Maresca, Pochettino, Potter, Rosenior. They're yes men. Do what the spreadsheet says. Tuchel, Enrique, Nagelsmann, they're not your three. They're the three are the type that will not do the yes man. And that is why we don't get elite managers at this club. Because if we had elite managers, these owners would be firing managers left, right and centre, because the types of Tuchel, Enrique, Nagelsmann and whoever else you could think about imagining would go, I need this, I need this, I need this, we need to spend this to get this, and we need to do this as well, and it's going to cost money. And these owners don't have that money. They don't have that money. They've already spent £1.5 billion on a squad that is failing as it is. So why are they going to risk another manager coming in on limited partners' money where they're going to have to spend money? Do you know what I'm saying? It's one of them carousels. And we get their managers in and they'd be out the door very quickly. And that's not what these owners want. And this is where it makes me laugh. Let's talk a bit about the index fund. Paul Winstanley, Lawrence Stewart, the sporting directors. They aren't building a team for these owners. They're building an index fund. They buy young players to pump and dump for profit, not to win the Premier League. Your likes of Enzo Fernandez's were brought in as big money signings, right? Okay, big money signings, and we haven't won the Premier League yet. Let's look at other players. Great players like Kendry Pires, Willian Estevan. You could players like Cole Palmer. We'll pump and dump them eventually. Kendry Pires will go for bigger money. Estevan will go for bigger money. Cole Palmer we only paid 40 million for, and he'll probably go for 150 million. See what I mean? It's profit over performance. You're not going to buy an experienced player for £100 million who's like 28, 29, who could win you a Premier League this year in the next 3 Premier Leagues and double your money anyway, because he's not worth that £100 million in the next 3 years. It's all about profit over performance. And now it's time to talk about one of the most important parts in this video. The dangled carrot. What is the dangled carrot, you may ask? The PR. The stuff we see on X, Instagram, Sky Sports. The PR that they put out every day. I'm here to call out a Vision 2030 PR. To say that we'll be at the top of our game by 2030, which they promised when they first bought the club. It's a distraction to keep the fans quiet while they pick the pockets of the present. Let's talk a bit about the global experiment involved in this. Strasbourg. They're destroying 2 clubs at the same time. It's a portfolio strategy that treats 119 years of history like a California balance sheet. And it's not at my club. I don't want this and I won't tolerate it, and I'm pretty sure there's lots of other fans out there that won't tolerate it either. The joy they've stolen from us, the fans, the lifeblood of every club. They have stolen every single ounce of joy that we have had at Stamford Bridge for the last 25 years or however long you've supported Chelsea. I've supported Chelsea for what? 22, 23, 24 years? And I've never seen the club like this. I've never hated this situation more. I've never been so angry. And that hurts. And I'm sure it's hurting other Chelsea fans around the globe too. And the problem is, no one's known how to fight back at these owners and at the situation at the club. But I have the solution, I think. So I've mentioned a solution. But what is that solution? Well, here it is. This is the way for all of us fans to win. Toxic assets. Private equity hates bad PR. If the brand value drops because of fan process and toxic atmosphere, the investors in the private equity firm get nervous. If we keep the pressure on, the gold mine becomes a money pit. Eventually, the limited partners will demand their money back, and Clearlake will be forced to sell, along with Todd Bowley and the others. We have the power, fans. Chelsea fans, we have the power. We will be the only ones here in 50 years. These owners are just passing through. But if we want to get them out, continue the protests, continue showing anger and anguish towards the situation. State your opinions. State the facts when you see them. Do not let the dangled carrot get in the way of you and your opinion and your facts. Because the facts are out there for everybody to see. So I urge you, Chelsea fans, like me, keep pushing. Keep the same message, blue coat out. And eventually, we will win. The owners won't be here. And we can start moving forward together as a football club, as a unit. Blue coat out. Chelsea till I die. I hope you've all enjoyed this video, guys, and this little explanation I've given you. Guys, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please make sure you turn that notification bell icon on to be notified of when I upload and when I go live. Also, guys, go and follow the socials. They're down in the description, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Take care, guys.